Today I want to go a bit deeper into winter sowing and talk more about why it works so well, especially for specific plants. In this video, I'm starting cornflowers, larkspur, dwarf lupins, pink salvia, poppies, snapdragons, and stock. And I want to explain what these plants actually need and not just how to sow them. Cornflowers are one of the easiest and most forgiving hardy annuals you can grow, which makes them perfect for winter sowing. In nature, cornflower seeds fall to the ground in late summer and sit through the winter. They are used to cold, moisture, and changing temperatures, and they actually germinate best in cool soil. They don't like being started too warm. When grown indoors with heat, they often grow very fast and become floppy. Winter sowing slows them down just enough to create strong stems. Cornflowers are also very frost-tolerant as young plants. Once they have germinated, they can handle cold nights and even light frost without any issue. Because of that, they can usually be planted out 4 weeks before the last frost, as long as the soil is workable. Another benefit of starting them early is that they bloom earlier, often before summer heat arrives. And cornflower really prefers cooler weather for flowering, so early growth makes a big difference. Larkspur is a classic example of a plant that truly needs cold to germinate well. The seeds have a natural dormancy that's broken by cold stratification. Without that cold period, germination can be slow, uneven, or fail completely. Winter sowing solves this naturally. By winter sowing, you give larkspur time to establish before spring heat arrives. This leads to taller and stronger plants and better flower spikes. Dwarf lupins are a bit different because they are all about the roots. They develop a deep taproot very early, and once the root is disturbed, the plant can struggle. That's why timing and gentle handling are so important. Lupin seeds also have a hard seed coats. Cold and moisture help soften that coat and improve germination, which is another reason why winter sowing works so well. Starting lupins slowly in cool conditions allows that taproot to grow straight and strong. The plant focuses on root development first instead of rushing into top growth. Once established, lupins are very cold tolerant and can be planted out before or around the last frost date, as long as the soil isn't frozen or waterlogged. Pink salvia is slower and a bit more subtle, but winter sowing still offers big advantages. Salvia seeds often germinate unevenly when started indoors with heat. They prefer steady moisture and cooler conditions, which winter sowing naturally provides. Instead of growing quickly and weakly, winter sowing salvia develops thicker stems and stronger leaves. This makes the plants much more resilient later in the season. Salvia isn't as frost hardy as some of the other plants here, so it's usually planted out closer to the last frost state, rather than weeks before. Poppies are one of the best reasons to use winter sowing. They prefer cold soil for germination and really dislike having their roots disturbed. When started indoors and transplanted late, they often stall or fail altogether. Winter sowing allows poppies to germinate naturally, exactly when the conditions are right. The seedlings grow slowly and steadily with minimal stress. Poppy seedlings are very cold tolerant and can be planted out well before the last frost date. In fact, the earlier they are planted, the better they usually perform. This method produces healthier plants and much better flowering. Snapdragons are cool season bloomers that benefit enormously from early cool growth. They germinate slowly, and when grown indoors with heat, they often become tall and leggy. Winter sowing keeps them compact and sturdy. Snapdragons can tolerate light frost and actually prefer cool temperatures for early development. That's why they need to be planted out 4 to 6 weeks before the last frost. Early planting allows them to establish before summer heat arrives, which often leads to stronger plants and longer flowering. Stock is another flower that truly loves cool weather. If it's grown too warm or too late, it tends to rush through its life cycle and produce weaker flowers. Winter sowing slows everything down in a good way. The cool temperatures encourage strong stems, better branching, and more fragrant blooms. Stock seedlings can tolerate cold and are usually planted out 4 weeks before last frost date. Giving them that early start makes a noticeable difference in flower quality. One key thing to remember with winter sowing is drainage and airflow. Cold and moist conditions are fine, but cold and waterlogged conditions can cause seeds to rot. That's why it's so important to make sure excess water can drain out, and air can get in. Winter sowing works because it mimics natural conditions. Another major benefit is that winter-sown seedlings don't need hardening up. They grow up exposed to real weather from the beginning, which makes them tougher and more adaptable. Winter sowing isn't about speed. It's about growing plants the way they're designed to grow. You trade a little patience for stronger plants, better roots, and better flowers.